Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about how to find the missing angle and measurement of a triangle or how to solve for x. So yes, they are a little bit different and I'm going to go into more detail as why I said that. So we do have a few steps that will apply to just about all of these. So you have to set up an equation where all of your angles are added up to 180 degrees. Every triangle in Euclidean geometry, which is the type of geometry that we are currently studying, yes, there's more than one, will add up to 180 degrees. So then you combine your like terms like normal, isolate a variable if needed, and you solve for your angle measurement. So in the first one, I have 30 degrees, 70 degrees, and x. And in the second one, I have 50 degrees, 60 degrees, and 2x. So these problems are different for a few reasons. So in the first problem, once I've solved for x, I solve the missing angle measurement. But in the second problem, if I solve for x, I didn't solve for the missing angle measurement because it's 2 times that value. So when you're reading your problems, make sure that you really understand what it's asking. If it's asking you to solve for x, just do that. If it's asking you to solve for a missing angle measurement, you might have to substitute that x value back in to the missing angle. And I'm going to go over 3 separate problems of how to do that. So let's change colors here. I'm going to use dark blue. Here we go. So the first one, like I said, I'm going to take 30 degrees. And you don't have to write the degree symbols in your equations. I would definitely recommend putting it at the end though, because if you don't, it technically is incorrect and would represent a side length. So don't forget that degree value. Plus 70 plus x, and that's going to equal 180. I can combine the 30 and the 70 to 100 plus x equals 180. And I can isolate by subtracting 100 from each side. So x is going to equal 80. And in this case, it's going to equal 80 degrees because it represents an angle measurement. So I'm going to draw a squiggly just to keep it separate. So the next one, nothing changes. Set up your equation. So 50 plus 60 plus 2x equals 180. Combine your like terms. I can combine 50 and 60 to 110 plus 2x equals 180. I can subtract 110 from both sides. 2x equals 70. And then divide by my coefficient. And I get x equals 35. Now, I'm not putting a degree value on there because it doesn't represent a degree. It represents the x value. If I wanted to go ahead and find that missing angle, which is this one right here, I would do 2 times 35 to get 70 degrees. So if your problem was asking you the value of x, you would stop at x equals 35. If your problem is asking you find the value of the missing angle, you would stop at 70. And let's draw a squiggly for the next one. So the next one is a little bit of a special case. So this is an obtuse triangle. We have 120 degrees, and then we have these 2 other angles in parentheses here. Now, angle measurements can actually be quantities, little expressions, like we see right here. And believe it or not, you can actually have negative x values in these types of problems. So the reason why you can have a negative x value is because the x doesn't represent the angle measurement. If it was just like the first problem and I got, let's say, negative 80, I did something wrong. I have to go back and check. But in this particular problem we're about to start, you can have a negative x value. And spoiler, it's going to be negative. So let's get started. Process does not change. So 120 plus. So you're going to write the whole quantity. So I'm going to look at the first angle on top, and I'm going to do x plus 22. And then I'm going to add x plus 42. And this also equals 180. That doesn't change. So we can combine some things here. I can combine both of these x's to 2x. And I can combine all of the constants, 120, 22, and 42 to 184. So I want to isolate that 2x. So I'm going to subtract 184 from both sides. and I'm left with 2x equals -4. If I divide by 2, I'm going to get an x value of -2. So like I said, this is totally fine because it doesn't represent the angle measurement. So if we want to go and find the angle measurement, you would substitute back in. So I'm actually going to change to a different color. I'm going to change to a brighter color, change to this blue. So if I were to substitute -2, let's do it down here, -2 plus 22, well, that would give me a 20. So this angle measurement is really 20 degrees. And now I can find the second angle. So -2 plus 42. It's really like saying 42 minus 2. And that gives me 40 degrees. So your two missing angles are 20 degrees, and this is a really bad 0. There we go. And 40 degrees. And if you want to make sure that you did your work right for any three of these problems, go back and add up all of your angle measurements. So if I go back to the first one, 30 plus 70 plus 80, that's going to give me 180. Checks out. 50 plus 70 plus 60 is also going to give me 180. So that checks out. And then 20 plus 120 plus 40 also gives me 180 degrees. So that means I completed all three problems correctly. I hope that this tutorial was helpful for you. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more.